Well, the greediest the greedy, maybe I am the greediest, the greedy capitalist pig of the genreverse uh is upset about other greedy capitalist pigs. True story. True story. Also, anime recommendations because, family gathering. I did this back in November. I figured it'd be fun to do it again. So, with that, hello, everybody. Welcome back to another daily cup of genre here on the Genreverse YouTube channel and Genreverse Podcast Network, available on all of your favorite podcast apps such as Apple, that's the one, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and more. Give us a follow there. Rate us, review us if you would. It would be very beneficial in multiple ways. And of course, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. We have a lot of great content besides podcasts like the Cantina, D-COG, Breaking Geek Radio, which will be coming back in the new year. New name, new look, new feel, but we look forward to hearing from Jammer and Jonesy in the new year. And of course, anime reactions and trailer reactions here on the YouTube channel. So yeah, lots of good reasons to be subscribed. We have merch if you're interested in supporting LRM and the Genreverse. There is a Redbubble link in the description box below where you can get prints on all sorts of items, not just shirts of our podcast logos, some Star Wars stuff original, and our original cute anime girl. Please check that out if you're into it. And then, of course, hey, LRMOnline.com every day for all entertainment news, needs, and opinions. Kind of like, news such as The Acolyte having its having a set of reshoots, kind of like now, and it says it on the screen. And I'm not even wearing a watch. That one's going to be interesting. We're going to talk about that on the Cantina, which should be out later on today. Other show note that I forgot. Yesterday's show was on YouTube as a live stream. I am going to put the audio up, but this is now episode 290. So I didn't miss, if you're listening on podcast, I didn't miss. It was an hour-long live show, and then I had to bunch of appointments and other responsibilities, so I didn't get to put it up in audio format or even put it up on the website, which is again LRMOnline.com. Marvel news we cover. We got a partnership of sorts. Not like legal or business partnership, but we host the written articles for Comic Source podcast. Jace, good guy out there. So if you're into comics, check out his podcast. And of course, all the celebrity interviews that go up on the LRM YouTube channel, LRM Online. Hey, if you've ever wanted to write, drop a line, an email, Michael, Michael, at LRMOnline.com. Tell us what you're passionate about writing, and or what you want to write about that you are passionate about. And yeah, we'll see what we can do. So the greedy capitalist pig in me is a porker that believes in good form capitalism. Okay, I really do. I believe in making as much money as you can while making your community and your country and hopefully the world a little bit of a better place along the way. Not just with your goods or services, but also the way that you treat your employees, you treat the community, environment, all that good stuff. And no, I'm not like a tree hugger, but come on, let's not do damage where we don't absolutely have to, right? And I'm not saying that environmental damage is an absolute must, although it kind of is, because even manufacturing the great green electric batteries we all so desperately want to see take over the roads, not really. They're toxic too. So, point being, you can do capitalism the right way. You really can. What's not the right way is consolidating and eliminating competition. Axios, you guys might not recognize the name. They they cover a lot of stuff across the spectrum in news. We'll just leave it at that. Axios, from entertainment to politics, business, everything Axios can cover. They got a scoop. Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount are in talks to merge. This, of course, has many implications across things beyond, say, Max and Paramount Plus, but that is going to be a big focus of this, and also my thoughts on it, because that's the competition space right now, especially with these companies, both big screen and small screen, including your computer monitors or your cell phone when we talk small screen these days. I mean, Paramount used to be a big, studio. They still are, kind of, sort of. They've got several properties, the Transformers stuff. We just people don't think about them as much as they used to. But you've got several of the toy properties going on. You've got Star Trek, of course. Big things like Nickelodeon. Those are things that are under Paramount, and that people might not think about or realize. Some Comedy Central stuff, MTV things, even though MTV, I don't even know if they do music anymore. They have a crap ton of pop culture and music centric reality shows and whatnot. And it used to be lots of repeats of Ridiculousness. Was it Ridiculousness with Derek, I can't remember. Anyways, man, I sound like such an old ass person, don't I? There's a lot of stuff there that people might not think about when they think Paramount, right? They think about the big studio, right? The big movies, formerly big movie studio. Nah, they still do good, guys. I'm just messing around. Warner Brothers, of course, everyone knows who they are. They know the Discovery Warner Brothers merger that just went through, and how wonderfully fun everyone has found that whole experience. Ask the people that made Batgirl. Not that I'm saying it was going to be a good movie, just that, I'm sure the merger was a wonderful experience for that cast and crew. Axios says it's unclear whether Warner Brothers wants to buy Paramount Global, like just that, the entertainment part, or the parent company, National Amusements Incorporated, NAI. NAI owns a lot of theaters, over 1,000 theaters and stuff like that. In I can't remember if it's North America or it might be worldwide. As I was doing a little bit of research before, but I closed some of that stuff out. You see companies buy whole and then spin off. AT&T had done that, tried to do that, did it with Warner Brothers. Eventually, so it wouldn't be surprising if, say, NAI was like, no, you take us all or nothing, and then they spin them off later on. The reason why, and those are just some deals I didn't really come across, like dollar amounts or anything like that. There is a lot of debt that Paramount has, and so they are looking for a partner or someone to buy them out, merge with. Otherwise, the debt could be crushing. Axios does say that Warner Brothers market value was around $29 billion as of this week. Paramount's was just over $10 billion. But again, no like dollar amount on actual deals. So why is it bad, right? Why is it not good for consumers? Well, competition breeds multiple things. One, it breeds innovation. Two, it breeds competition and pricing. And three, it provides choices. It provides choices for people to vote with their money, to where even though, say, right now, you've got Netflix, you got Disney, Warner Brothers, Paramount, Apple, Amazon, you got these 6, right? It seems like it's a lot of competition, but when you look at all the studios underneath those that I've mentioned, except for Apple, who are essentially on their own, seeing how big it used to be back when it was like cable, satellite, and over the air, like broadcast networks, right? And so it's less competition, less choices, not good. You get less variation in pricing because you got to get your entertainment from someone, somewhere, so pay for it, right? I mean, that was one of the things we hated about satellite and cable TV. Most people in America, at least cable, you had maybe 2 cable providers in your city, usually just one, and then you had either DirecTV or Dish Network. DirecTV and Dish usually ignored the cable guy. Some people's cable even came with their local telephone and or sometimes electrical companies. And don't get me started on like internet service providers and the lack of competition there. But infrastructure is expensive, right? Less so for streaming services. What does Warner Brothers Discovery want? I think they want Nickelodeon. I think they really want access to not so much Star Trek, Top Gun, Transformers, or anything like that. I think they want Nickelodeon. Kids stuff is actually relatively cheap to produce, and therefore makes sense to use as a hook for streaming services, which don't make a lot of money. They actually, most of them lose their company's money. But if you put cheaper content on there, maybe you can turn it around, right? I fear, man, I fear for entertainment, dude. I really do. You will own nothing and you will be happy with it. See, when you have all these people that control so much of the so few people control so much of the entertainment industry, they get to control more of how we consume it. We think we're in charge, kind of, sort of. We kind of pushed the streaming thing, but the pandemic really kind of solidified it. Even though it's a failure, these companies have invested so much into it. And we are being stubborn and not going back to theaters. We keep cutting cords. We're not resubscribing to DirecTV or your local cable provider. So we are partially in charge, but they still hold the rights, the licenses, and all of that. We've seen Sony remove content from their PlayStation services, from Discovery, no less. Amazon's done it in the past. HBO, I mentioned Batgirl. What are we going to do? We have to be entertained. There ain't no way anybody's going to stop being entertained enough to affect that kind of change, right? This will probably go through, much like the Microsoft Activision Blizzard buyout went through. It shouldn't have. That was atrocious and awful. I hear all you out there, but I get more games on Game Pass. Yeah, well, Game Pass is going to be just like every other subscription service you can imagine. It's going to become super expensive. You're not going to use the benefits as much as you think, or maybe you use them well now, but you won't in the future. But you will own nothing, and you will be afraid to lose your games, to not have that game available when you want it, and so you'll keep your subscription even after they raise prices. That's the bad stuff, guys. That really is. I don't like it. No, sir. I don't like it. Anyways, drown down about that for a bit. Sorry. I tend to do that with the business stuff, and I also lost my train of thought a couple of times, which always sucks. So let's get into some anime, guys. Anime recommendations. It's the holidays. We're looking at people traveling, getting back together, and you might be that one weeb in the household who just knows it's only going to take one show or one movie to convert some of your family members. Well, good news for you guys. I've actually picked out a few things that should appeal to essentially someone in anyone's family. So there's a little something here for everybody. That's not that every one of these picks is for everybody, but everybody can find something in out of one of these picks. And I'll go over who they're for as we go along. Much like November, we're going to start with a movie for everyone in the family. This one legitimately all ages affair. Summer Wars. Now, this is a Hosoda film. You guys might know Boy and the Beast. You might know Girl Who Leapt Through Time. Belle, recently, the most recent film. Marai, I can't remember, but that's another one. Anyways, also famously Digimon movie. Anywho, Summer Wars is a great all ages affair, coming of age movie. Deals with a high schooler who kind of gets duped into hacking this movie's version of the Oasis, if you've seen Ready Player One, and that's just this came out in 2009, a long time before. But for visual reference, okay, it's like a virtual world, right? He gets duped into helping hack it, and hijinks go on. All at the same time, he's been asked by a female associate to come and play her love interest, so to speak, for her family, who has this deep roots in the area and a lot of traditions. And it's hilarious. It's fun, wonderfully well animated, good story. The dub is actually pretty damn good. I've watched it both subtitled and dubbed. It's not that bad, not at all. I think you guys could get a kick out of it. Definitely check out Summer Wars with your whole family. It's a movie, easy to watch. Carrying on to something for the kids, something that you guys could put up. Well, I mean, it's still all ages, but this one's for the younger ones in the family. This you can put on in the background while the older kids are playing on their phones and the adults are trying to forget that they have kids. I'm joking. Cells at Work. I dig Cells at Work. My son digs Cells at Work. My wife digs Cells at Work. This is a look at the inside of the human body, where all of your cells, white blood cells, red blood cells, platelets, other immune cells, lymphatic system, like all of that are human shaped. Would that technically be anthropomorphized? I don't know. But they're human shaped. They're humanoids, if you will. Think Dragon Ball Z in your body, fighting anything from cancer to like allergies and the common cold. It's a lot of fun. It's cute. And it's relatively educational. Like, yeah, there's exaggerations and it's not like actual microscopic looking creatures, but it does teach you a bit about your immune system, your body's healing capabilities, what germs do. And there's an even more grown version called Cells at Work Code Black, which will deal with things that maybe the kiddies shouldn't see, but the teens and older, they might be able to check out and dig Cells at Work Code Black. Speaking of the teenagers in your family, anime is a thing that's huge across all generations these days, and something that I think they might dig. And this it depends on families of who age appropriateness this is. This is Licorice Recoil. It's rated 13 plus. But there's going to be some like 10, 11, 12-year-olds that, if you don't mind some violence, and some thighs, you might not mind them seeing Licorice Recoil. You have a secret organization of girls, mainly. There is a boys organization that is a counterpart to them, that help keep the peace in Japan, and they do it by secret. And two of the top agents, one who's gotten in trouble and one who just is trouble, go off and have this, do their missions. There's a bad guy in a much larger conspiracy aimed to expose the whole system, right? Wonderfully animated, a lot of fun. Voice actors did a great job. Chisato and Takina, great characters. I love this show. Like, there's parts in the story that, sure, they kind of, I don't want to say meander, but things can get a little muddled with some of the story, but the whole cast is great. Supporting cast is a lot of fun. The hacker character actually became a bit of a meme for a bit, and when you see the show, you'll know which one I'm talking about. It's a great pick. Show it to your cousins, your siblings, whoever, friends, family friends that come over to visit. Licorice Recoil, like I said, that's that young teenage, and everyone like older than that can enjoy this as well. But it's that action thing, right? It's that action thing with some cute anime girls. Have at it, right? Good stuff. Next, we're going to talk about for the romantics in your family. We have Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. Also, I just call it Bunny Girl Senpai. Usually, that gets the point across for most people. This actually was something that I stumbled upon, and no, was it Christine? I think Christine watched the first episode without me, and then she's like, "No, you'll like this." I was like, "Okay." I think that's how it happened. And we watched it. And when you get to the end of the third episode, you're like, oh my God, is this just an OVA? Like, because that was a complete and amazing story. Just these first 3 episodes. And then they're like, no, man, you've got like 10 more to go. And you're like, oh my God, that's amazing. So you watch it, and it really is a lot of fun. I don't want to give too much away. Okay. There is a bit of there's a supernatural aspect to this, but it's more in the background until it isn't. And even when it is in the foreground, it's still more about the characters. The romance between the main the two main characters, the boy and the girl, Mai and God, why is his name? It's going to be right here in front of me. Jeez, Kyle. Sakta. The relationship between those two is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed watching them antagonize each other, like the way they pick on each other in a nice way, not in the like tsundere or whatever type way that you normally see, but the way two people that are really into each other can pick at each other in fun, having fun, and my wife and I even do that, right? There's also an aspect for brothers and sisters in this story, and not in a terrible anime way, but in a good way. You have a brother who is taking care of his sister, and she's got a condition, and there's a lot of, like I said, good, healthy, familial love and not treatment, that's the wrong word, but love and compassion and the relationship there. So I really appreciate that. I'm a big brother to a little sister myself. My wife is a big sister to a little brother, and Brian, who does the anime thing here on Genreverse with us, is also an older sibling. So it hits on a bunch of levels, and I can't recommend it enough. So Bunny Girl Senpai. And there's also like a movie and a new series or continuation coming out. I need to look into it because I do definitely want to finish it up. And this episode's going on really long. I'm sorry, but we're going to wrap it up with something for the pervs, something for the older, over 18, do what your grade level can handle, but this is the 18 plus crowd, all right? And this is going to test your familial ties if you show this one to someone. Inukai, I'm joking. Do not ever watch Inukai-san's dog. That is an atrocity. No, Shimonetta. Shimonetta, a boring world where the concept of dirty jokes doesn't exist. Yes, that is the title, and that is exactly what goes on in this world. This is ecchi. This is gross. This is grotesque. This is all about a world where essentially anything risque, anything of the prawn variety, dirty thoughts in general, all illegal, banned, outlawed, and of course that means there's a large world of it in the underground, and you'll see like magazines, old vintage nudie magazines, if you will, become prized and valued and sought after. You have a group of rebellious people that want to kind of bring the filth back to humanity, because let's face it, we all need to occasionally be able to laugh at a good dick joke, right? Shimonetta is not for the light at heart. There's a lot of really messed up things in this. Oh God, but it's funny. It's super funny. I only recommend this if you are God, I can't even think of things that like this is more ecchi, if you will, than things like Konosuba. Like Panty and Stocking was the other one that I recommended. If you were okay with that, you're okay with this. That's a good reference point, I think. If you're okay with Panty and Stocking, you'll get a kick out of Shimonetta. Again, this one is not family friendly, not kid friendly, not teen friendly. It is for the adults. So there you guys have it. 5 more recommendations for your family members this holiday season. Tomorrow, hopefully, I'll do some more Christmassy type things. And hopefully that'll mean I get all 5. Like I said, I did do one yesterday. I just got to get it up on audio format. It might already be up there by the time you listen to this. Anyways, guys, check out more content here on the Genreverse YouTube channel. Excuse me. Check out our podcast on your favorite podcast app. Everything goes up there except reaction videos, merch in the Redbubble link in the description box below, celebrity interviews, written news, reviews, and more at LRMonline.com. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you, God, I hope, tomorrow. Bye.